Good morning. We're going to start the service off by singing what a wonderful Sunday morning this is. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. And the corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing straight up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling that everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, it don't miss a tree, and the old weeping willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Everything's going my way. Everything is going my way. All of the sounds of the earth are like music. Oh, what a beautiful morning. All the sounds of the earth are like music. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything is going my way. Everything is going my way.
Well, thank you, Roderick. So nice to have you back. He's been all over the world. I don't know, that's what he does, right? Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Cynthia Vermillion-Foster, and I would like to start this morning by inviting you to join me in affirming our vision and mission statement. Our vision statement, centered in love and divine oneness, we transform ourselves, our community, and our world. And our mission statement, we put God first, celebrate life, live unity principles, and empower one another to transform our lives. One another, each other, whatever. Good morning. Such a beautiful, beautiful statement of who we are as a community. And we don't affirm our core values every Sunday, but our core values are spirit-centered, loving, and inclusive. And I bring that to the surface this morning because there have been a number of conversations that have arisen recently about the state of the world and particularly the uneasiness of our political process right now and a desire to really live into our core values in relationship to the current status in our world and in our nation. And so we came up with a prayer that I'm going to share with you this morning. It's on our website. There are also some copies of it in the lobby by the prayer box if you're interested. So this is who we are. This is who we are affirming, how we're going to affirm that we show up. Unity Church of the Hills is an open-minded and open-hearted spiritual community that embraces all as expressions of the divine. We intentionally create a safe space that honors the diversity and uniqueness of every person. We lovingly welcome people of all backgrounds, beliefs, and political views while valuing the inherent worth and dignity of everyone. Acknowledging the uneasiness and polarization in our current culture, we unite as one in prayer. Loving Spirit, we know and affirm the beauty of each human soul and acknowledge that we are interconnected with one another. We cultivate the space in our hearts and in our spiritual community that nurtures the sacredness of all and embrace them with compassion and understanding. We honor the differences among us while grounding ourselves in a faith that unites us. We extend love, grace, kindness, and generosity to one another. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. And so it is in that spirit that I welcome you into this sacred space this morning. I honor the inherent worth in each and every one of you. I celebrate your presence with us this morning. And I want you to know that we are committed to living inside this statement as we engage in ministry together. So I'm wondering if there might be any newcomers with us this morning. If you don't mind raising your hand, we would love to acknowledge you. Yay! Welcome. Welcome. If you didn't get a connection packet in the welcome area, I do invite you to fill out a connection card in the pew in the pocket in front of you. It gives us an opportunity to follow up with you, and we are so grateful that you are here. Is there anybody here for the second time? No? There's a couple of people that have been here a few times that I spoke with this morning, and it's always so wonderful for people to choose to come back and to engage with this spiritual community. I also want to acknowledge any of you that have been away for a while and have returned. Know that you are entering a heart space, and we are so grateful that you're back. And so now let's take a moment to affirm our unity blessing with one another. We love you, we bless you, we welcome you, and we behold the Christ you are. And there's been some confusion about the Christ you are. And so what I want you to know is that when we affirm the Christ you are, we are affirming that divine entity that you are. We are honoring that you are an expression of God. And so now let's take a moment and move around the room and welcome one another and see that light of God in one another.
And with that same energy of connection and community, let us stand and begin our opening song. There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, even up, discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day. You've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife with my for God. And I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open and wide up. Yes, I'm on the left here for God. No more, no more, no more. No more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm on the left here for God. Hey, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Everyone. I'm back, if you were here last night. Thank you. Did we have a party last night or what? We did. So I'm here wearing the hat of the Unity Moment this morning. I'm going to do something maybe slightly different today with my Unity Moment because I am here to talk to you about my mentor, about a dear friend, and about someone I'm privileged to hang around with all the time, and his name is Reverend Dr. Robert Brummett. Yeah, some people know who we're talking about. And I have the opportunity to introduce him a lot. I have done workshops, as some of us in this congregation have, and we have heard him speak here. But the opportunity that I have to be with Robert is he is my spiritual director. And as someone who is the program coordinator for the Spiritual Direction Program for Unity Worldwide Ministries, he is, his advice is priceless. I am stunned when he calls me the dean of the program. But he and several other folks in Unity who did some spiritual direction studies, and if you're curious about what that is, check with me after, or Thelene after service, and we can tell you. But he and several other folks who had done some spiritual direction studies outside of Unity, because we didn't have a program, got together and created a program for New Thought, for Unity and New Thought. And they birthed this baby of spiritual direction, and I'm the nanny now. So Robert was ordained a Unity minister in 1980, and he was the 2012 recipient of Unity Worldwide Ministries Light of God Expressing Award. He's been awarded an honorary Doctor of Divinity degree by Unity Institute and Seminary in 2016. And he's a teacher, a writer, a spiritual director, as I've mentioned. He has presented programs at over 150 churches and retreat centers. He was the chairman of pastoral studies at Unity Institute and Seminary from 1989 to 2016. He's the author of Quest for Wholeness, Finding Yourself in Transition, Birthing a Greater Reality, Living Originally, and dozens of magazine articles. And all I always say about those is that they are available in the library here, and they are available in the bookstore, and they are always accessible. The thing about Robert is I think he will be the 21st century Unity Eric Butterworth. When we look back on Robert in 20 years, he will be significant for us in Unity. And I'm not reading from any of those books today. I am taking a piece from his blog, and I didn't know I was going to do this, but it stands on the shoulders of the prayer that we spoke today. It speaks to what's going on in the world and what's really happening right now, and it's from a recent blog post that Robert wrote, and it's called Cast Your Vote for Equanimity, or Equanimity, or the foyer or the foyer. A question that many people have asked me is, in this time of political drama and critical decision-making, how can I practice equanimity? I will begin by addressing some of the mistaken notions about equanimity. One common error is believing that equanimity means you should always be calm and peaceful no matter what happens, and that you should always meet life with a Buddha-like smile. Not necessarily so. Equanimity is an internal practice. It has no particular face to it. It cannot be determined by external appearances. A similar mistake is the belief that equanimity means having no preferences and that you never make a choice. You simply allow life to happen however it will. If you are a monk or nun living in a monastery, then this might be possible. But even as a monastic, you eventually must make choices. And for those of us who are householders, you just cannot raise a family, work a job, and have relationships without having preferences and making choices. Equanimity is an internal process, but it does not mean that you should not be interested in the world around you. So let's look at what it does mean. Equanimity is a complete non-interference with your subjective experience. It has been described as making friends with every experience. Equanimity means that whatever you experience it completely without any interference or editing by the mind. That does not mean you act out your impulses. It simply means to allow each experience to enter and to leave when naturally ready. With the practice of equanimity, you won't always look like you're feeling peaceful. The practice is internal, without regards to appearances. Awareness is always a prerequisite for equanimity. If there's no awareness of your experience, you cannot have equanimity. It is an intention, not a goal. A goal is always about the future. An intention is always about the present moment. It simply means asking oneself in the moment, am I on my intention? Am I practicing equanimity? And if not, begin practicing now without looking back. With the practice of equanimity, it's crucial to drop all blame and judgment. Let go of the past, the future, right, wrong, good, bad. Drop the story. With equanimity, you are better equipped to make wiser choices because you now have a clearer connection to your inner wisdom. When the mind is clouded with judgment and resistance, it obscures your natural wisdom. To act with equanimity means to act only when free from craving and aversion and the mind is clear. When you do act, then do so with clear intention and no attachment to the outcome. Sounds pretty Buddhist, but we'll take it for unity this morning. So vote for equanimity this election season. And now we're going to move into the daily word. The word for today is several words. It is, I am comforted by the divine presence within me. And I invite you to just settle into that. Close your eyes if you'd like while I read the daily word. I am comforted by the divine presence within me. I am grateful for the people who have understood how to comfort me when I was feeling down. They listened when I needed to talk and blessed me with their kindness. Often they didn't need to say a word or do anything more than be with me for a while. Their understanding presence was what I really needed. Even if I am without the comforting presence of another, I can find comfort in the divine presence within me. As I open my heart to God, I feel understood, loved, and accepted completely, just as I am. I need not feel self-conscious about needing comfort or how I express my feelings. I need only feel the unconditional love of God. As my trust in the divine presence grows, my sadness diminishes. Healing peace flows through my entire being as I am comforted. And the verse today comes from Isaiah chapter 66, verse 13. As a mother comforts her child, so I will comfort you. You shall be comforted in Jerusalem. And so it is.
join me in prayer? In this moment, opening and expanding my heart, resting in the presence of love, I know I am one with God in all creation, all love, all peace, all wisdom. And just as God is expressed in infinite ways, so I express as divine presence everywhere I am. My thoughts express divine peace. My words express wisdom. My actions demonstrate love and understanding. My heart's song is one of praise and gratitude. Everywhere I look, I see God, every face, God's. I am divinely guided in all I do. Spirit goes before me and paves the way. I envision my family and my community peace-filled and free. Then expand this vision to include our entire beautiful planet. I bless the people of each country and imagine a world filled with love and harmony. And remember, it all begins with me. I abide in the quiet, joyous expectation of good. And so it is. Amen.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It doesn't matter where we started, as long as we finish together. It's a ballad for the broken-hearted, make you feel as light as a feather. 1 foot in front of the other, you've always gotta take your time. You just got to trust your brother, and everything will work out fine. Lead me by example, lead me, 'cause I've been going nowhere. Lead me to the promised land. I'll follow you through fire, you're more than a friend. What if we just keep on walking and count the cracks along the ground? And quitting crossed my mind quite often, but I've come too far to turn around. Brother, you don't have to worry. Sister, you don't have to fear. If we're ever feeling worried, love will lead us both from here. So lead me by example, lead me, 'cause I've been going nowhere. Lead me to the promised land. I'll follow you through fire, you're more than a friend. So lead me by example, lead me, 'cause I've been going nowhere. Lead me, oh, to the promised land. I'll follow you through fire, you're more than a friend. Doesn't matter where we started, as long as we finish together. I said it doesn't matter where we started, as long as we finish together. Lead me by example, Father. Lead me, 'cause I've been going nowhere. Lead me to the promised land. I follow you through fire, you're more than a friend. Lead me, Lord, lead me on my way. Lead me, show me the way. show me the way. Lead me, lead me, lead me, lead me.
We are so blessed. We have such an incredible music team, don't we? Thank you so much, Rod. Thank you so much, all of you. So I'm going to start this morning a little bit differently. I'm going to invite you to take a nice deep breath and allow that breath to take you deep into the present moment. Allow it to bring you right here. Thich Nhat Hanh says the present moment is the only moment available to us, and it is the doorway to all future moments. So right here, right now, being fully present. How often do we take the time to be fully present in this now moment? And yet, that is the moment where we meet God face to face. It is the moment in which we can truly connect heart to heart with one another. It is the moment of infinite possibilities. Right here, right now. So I'm going to invite you to turn to your neighbor and just take a moment to share what it feels like to be right here, right now. You can move around the room too. Okay. So did you learn anything from one another? This present moment is so precious. And I don't know about you, but if I think about my life, and I think about how many of those precious moments I let go by without really paying attention. Right here, right now, the moment of infinite possibilities, the moment in which we can connect, commune with Spirit, the moment in which we can become aware of what Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, refers to as substance. He defines substance as the divine idea of the underlying reality of all things. Substance is everywhere present, pervades all things, and inspires to action. It underlies the manifestation and is the spiritual essence, the living energy out of which everything is made. Substance is everywhere present. There's a saying in unity, there's no place where God is not. Substance is that kind of nebulous quality of spirit that is right here, that pervades all things, that gives life to all things. And we can connect with it at any moment. In spiritual economics, Eric Butterworth says that the whole of God is present at every point in space at the same time. There is never any lack of substance. It is that ineffable quality that brings into manifestation all that we see, all that we experience. And so when we tap into our creative power, that's what we're tapping into. That's what we're utilizing to create in this physical realm. And this idea of substance you can find in really all faith traditions. If you go to the Tao Te Ching, the ancient Chinese teachings by Lao Tzu, it says, look, it cannot be seen. It is beyond form. Listen. It cannot be heard. It is beyond sound. Grasp. It cannot be held. It is intangible. It is called indefinable and beyond imagination. Stand before it, and there is no beginning. Follow it, and there is no end. Stay with the ancient Tao. Move with the present. And it's so interesting because I kind of go to Hebrews chapter 11 where they talk about faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. That is the substance. That is the stuff with which our physical reality is molded, and we are part of it. But more than that, we are expressions of it. Again, going to spiritual economics with Eric Butterworth, we are the activity of God expressing as us. We are the activity of God as it expresses through us. And each of us expresses that God essence in our own unique way. Butterworth says that the important thing is to hold to the awareness that you are created in substance, formed of substance, and ceaselessly supported by substance. Paraphrasing Emerson, the free flow of substance in your life is the continuation of the divine effort that made you in the first place. When you choose to commune with that spiritual essence, when you choose to be fully present in this now moment, you engage in the continuation of that divine energy that created you. which is to say that we are co-creators with Spirit, that through our consciousness, through our activities in the world, we become co-creators. Because here's the thing, we live in this substance which is filled with infinite possibilities. And where is Joni? It was said earlier, just a moment ago. We make choices. We make choices. And so when we make those choices, we are selecting something from the realm of infinite possibilities and bringing it into manifestation in our world. When I stop and think about that, it calls me to be a little more mindful of the choices I make, right? We are co-creators with God, co-creators with the universe by our choices and by how we choose to show up in the world. Because when we make that choice, all those other possibilities kind of fade into the background. Charles Fillmore talked about how this occurs and how we form substance. Who knows the definition of substance according to Charles Fillmore? Not substance, faith. The perceiving power of the mind linked with the ability to shape substance. It's taking our minds and shaping from the realm of the infinite, making choices. And this is a wonderful activity. It allows us to create so many wonderful things in our lives, and we can get stuck there. Charles Fillmore also talks about the tendency for sometimes those thoughts to become crystallized, to become hardened, to kind of lock you into a position. And here's the thing. It's so easy to get enamored of our creations. I mean, look at how wonderful we are, right? It's so easy to get caught up in how wonderful our ideas are and to try and force the universe to conform to what we think it should look like. But when we do this, we stop. Remember, we talked about that continuation of the life force that created you? We stop the activity. I mean, you know, if I think about my own life and I think about something that really worked really well for me for a time, and a few years later, it's not working so well, but I get locked in. I keep trying to make it look a certain way. You ever been there? How does that work for you? Not so well, right? But if we want to continue in this flow of energy, if we want to continue to be the expression of God, we need to hold lightly. We need to let go. Because there's something more underneath it. Myrtle Fillmore talks about prosperity in her book. Well, it's not her book, it was compiled. Myrtle Fillmore's Healing Letters. She says, prosperity is not an accumulation of money or other so-called wealth, as we have sometimes thought. Wouldn't it be terrible if we were eternally surrounded with the material baubles that we, in our childish fancies, believe to be prosperity? Wouldn't you dread to think of spending eternity with chains of houses and lands and storehouses of food and wardrobes of clothing and garages of cars and chests of silver? You see a little bit of Myrtle's humor here. Wouldn't you dread to think that men and women were always to be deluded with the belief that these formed things are the realities, the true valuable things of life? We'd have to employ guards and give our thought to caring for our wealth. And here's the point. We'd never get to the place where we could get still and learn from the Father the deeper things, the soul-satisfying things. The lessons there are for us ere we rise into the majesty of sonship or daughtership, the realization of oneness. The realization of oneness. That's the true point of our existence. To reconnect to the present moment. To reconnect with the Spirit that gives us life. And this isn't to say that we don't need to take care of our physical needs. And we do this through this process of co-creation with Spirit. We make choices. We use this spiritual substance to create our lives. But we don't want to get stuck there and think that that's all there is. Again, I don't know, Joni, you and I were on the same wavelength this morning. If we go to the Buddhist teachings, they talk about taking authentic action in the world and not being attached to the outcome. So if we want to really be in this dance of prosperity, we need to look at this lightly. We need to hold our power with some humility. And what we create with our minds, we need to take lightly. If we turn to Matthew chapter 6, verses 25 through 33, one of the passages in Matthew that is just particularly beautiful. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? And can any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your span of life? Probably worrying will take some of that span away. And why do you worry about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field. How they grow. They neither toil nor spin, yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not clothed like one of these. You know, if you stop and think about it, and you stop and really experience the wonder, the beauty all around you, it is so sacred. And I have to ask myself, how often do I let it just go by without recognizing it? But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? Therefore do not worry, saying, what will we eat, or what will we drink, or what will we wear? For it is the Gentiles who strive for all these things, and indeed your heavenly Father knows that you need all these things. But strive first for the kingdom and God's righteousness, and all these things will be given to you. Strive first for the kingdom. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus says, the kingdom of God is spread out upon the earth, but people do not see it. The present moment is filled with infinite possibilities. The present moment is filled with the power and the activity of a spirit, but we don't always recognize it. There's this quality of really living inside the presence and power of God that has this kind of give and take to it. We are manifestors. We are co-creators with God, and it's important that we engage that activity. And we need to hold it lightly. We need to be willing to let go. We need to be willing to be changed, because there's more that God seeks to express through us. In his introduction to his translation of the Tao Te Ching, Jacob Needleman says, our primary and perhaps only true responsibility is to become individuals who are also conduits of the supreme creative power of the universe. It kind of brings me chills. Our primary and perhaps only true responsibility is to become individuals who are also conduits of the supreme creative power of the universe. He goes on and says, the secret of living according to the Tao Te Ching is to open within ourselves to the great flow of fundamental forces that constitutes the ultimate nature of the universe, both the movement that descends from the source and the movement of return. So right here, right now, in this present moment, you are gifted with a world of infinite possibilities. You are gifted with the opportunity to be co-creators with Spirit. And the invitation from Spirit is to seek first the kingdom, to align all of your creative energy with the impulse of God moving through you, so that you may give expression to it in your lives. God bless you.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul.
So I invite you to close your eyes or lower your gaze, allowing yourself to enter that sacred space, that holy ground, and to ready yourself for the lived experience of God moving in, through, and as you. The Tao says, empty yourself of everything. Let the mind become still. The 10,000 things rise and fall while the self watches their return. They grow and flourish, then return to source. Returning to the source is stillness, which is the way of nature. So we dive in, returning to source. Choosing to be right here, right now, fully present. To the infinite in the silence. To be empty is to be full of everything. To be open completely to that divine essence that is everywhere present. And as I open myself to that presence, I remember. I remember that more important than anything else is that I choose to live in harmony with that presence and to give expression to it in my world, knowing that as I do this, all things will be added unto me. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. So I'm doing the offering today because I want to let you know that we're going to try something a little bit different this Sunday. It's an opportunity to be open-minded. Yay, right? So we're going to work with two ushers this morning. We have one on either side. They're going to pass the basket, and we're going to ask you to kind of help them move it around the room. So pass it across, or pass it to the people behind you, and they can, we'll kind of work together. It's a team effort, right? Am I making sense? Okay, we're going to do that. And I want to remind you that we can give in many ways. Oh, Yeah, it's up there. We can give online. We can give through the offertory basket. We can give through the app, and all of it is valued and appreciated. You can also give stocks. What I really want you to know is your choice to give back to this spiritual community nurtures our ability to continue to serve one another and serve the world in healing ways. And so every penny you give is a gift and appreciated. So let's affirm together our offertory blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I circulate, and I am grateful.
Your ladder will be greater than your past, and you will be blessed more than you could ask. Despite all that has been done, the best is yet to come, and your ladder will be greater. Your ladder will be greater. Said your ladder will be greater than your past. Your ladder will be greater than your past. And you will be blessed more than you could ask. Despite all that has been done, oh, the best is yet to come, and your ladder will be greater. Your ladder will be greater. I said your ladder will be greater than your past, 'cause all things are possible. All things are possible, possible, possible. All things are possible. Oh, they're possible. Through Christ, things are possible. They are possible. And your ladder will be greater. Your ladder will be greater. I said your ladder will be greater. Your ladder will be greater. I said my ladder will be greater. My ladder will be greater. Oh, my ladder will be greater. My ladder will be greater. Your ladder will be greater than your past. Because the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. All the best is yet to come. Oh, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Oh, the best is yet to come. Our best is yet to come. Our best is yet to come. Our best is yet to come. All things possible. All things are possible. Possible. They're possible. In the end, and your ladder will
grateful. I have a confession to make. I'm sitting in my office and I'm hearing the music this morning, and I'm hearing popsicle, 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 and I'm like, what are they singing?
And that's why we have words on the screen there.
Oh, so let's just take a moment and affirm that all things are possible, because we live in a world of infinite abundance. And we take a moment to bless these offerings and their givers. We take a moment to bless all the people that gave at the fundraiser last night. And we see all of this coming together, supporting this community and moving forward and truly being more than it was before. And we are grateful. Amen.
Okay, that's stuck in my head now. All things are popsicle. Okay, I think that's our new summer song. Make note of that, okay, Roderick? So, all things are popsicle in the summer heat. My name is Tracy. I thought it was support your NFL team Sunday, so. Okay, go Chiefs. I'm the, what am I? I'm part of the minister search team. And what? Oh, I am. Ooh, okay. I want to express great gratitude to my team, and I know that you are here. I see Michael, please stand. Charles, please stand. Joni, please stand. And Jack is in the lobby talking to someone. But I'm so grateful to my team. Thank you. Yes, thank you. We've got our packet, this giant, I think, 1,000-page packet to UWM, finally with all our qualities that we want in our new minister, so that our position can actually be posted on their website. So that is done. And not only is it done, the representative, Carol, whom I sent it to, she was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I'm like, of course it is. But so that's done. This is a timeline. I'm going to go over this here in a second. Right now I'm going to go over it. So you can see up here, this is actually posted on the Unity Hills page. And if you go to the main page and just search for Minister Search Team, you will pull up the page that all this information is posted on. And we will keep this updated so you can see what we've completed. And right now we are in the waiting phase. We're waiting for that minister who we've been energetically calling to our wonderful spiritual home. We're waiting for them to get the ping to go apply for the position. Once we get applications, UWM does their thing, then we do our thing, and then the board does their thing. So that's all I'm going to say about that for right now. There is also a link on our page for you guys to contact us, the search team. And it is a link to a Google form. It does work. If you have trouble. Anyway, I'm totally kidding. Jennifer, if you have trouble, contact Jennifer. And I will be out in the lobby for a few minutes after service. We have a meeting today, but if you guys have any questions or any comments, we want your participation. This is your home, and this is your new minister. So thank you very much.
Well, isn't that a cute little friend? Good morning, you beautiful, vibrant beings. How many of you had fun with us last night? Yes! It was fantastic. So for those of you that I haven't connected hearts with, my name is Anaya. I am the events manager and the sacred service coordinator here at Unity Church of the Hills. And I was so inspired hearing Reverend Cynthia's talk today because it touched my heart. Between her and Joni, I was like, this is like, we are all in alignment here. I want to read to you what we started every fundraiser planning team meeting with. We agree that all ideas, I can do it. Si se puedes. I get overwhelmed by such gratitude. We agree that all ideas and creative shares are valuable and of divine design. We greet each idea with respect, an open heart, and an open mind. We collaborate for the greater good of our community, you all. We willingly practice releasing all attachments that hinder flow. And in doing that, in setting that heartfelt intention for our time together, we had amazing ideas. We had infinite possibilities. We had a God canvas in front of us. We came up with so many wonderful things, and some we had to let go of so that we would not hinder the flow. Right? Taoism calls this wu wei, effortless ease, releasing to the current, to the flow. So I'm taking up this moment because it is a personal practice of mine. And when Rev Cynthia hired me, I said, only if I can offer gratitude ad nauseum. But it is a personal practice of mine to give gratitude. It does not come lightly from me. It is a practice woven into my nightly practice. It's a practice woven into my prayer. I begin and end every day with a harvest of gratitude. And so I'd like for you all to pause with me, heart-centered, to express your appreciation for all of the hardworking people that put that fundraiser together. It wasn't just me. These individuals gave their time, their hearts, their energy. They stepped away from their families to support this family. Their love was so present in everything that they did. There were many hearts, many hands. So I invite you to just hold these individuals in your heart. We started with Mark Roush, who cleared our grounds, made the grass look beautiful, did a beautiful job trimming limbs and blowing off the acorns from the patio. Yeah, good job, Mark. And I'd like to acknowledge hands that are behind the scenes that often go unrecognized, that made the night even more popping. Audrey Simpson, Brian Anderton, and Steve Mayer. These individuals are often floating behind the scenes, and we're like, where's that great sound coming from? Who did that? And these are what I call like my event magicians, because they make everything sound so lovely all the time. A special gratitude to all of our volunteers who showed up to help the day before and the evening, or the afternoon the day before and the morning of. Becky and Forrest Brayfogle, Diana Stanfield, Greg and Loretta Sedlock, Diane Kesslinger, Sylvia Powell, Ksenia Gorovalova, Robert Hinestroza, Arlene Grockett, Darla Shirley, and a special shout out to Tammy and Joni for creating the grazing board. Thank you. For Loretta and Greg, their beautiful daughter, making that amazing peace symbol. Thank you. Loretta's incredible decorative eye. She was a powerhouse. For Ellen and Des being the auctioneer managers. To our bartenders, Liz Huckenstein and Amy Garcia. And I'd like to acknowledge the folks that stayed later. Kevin Wood, thank you. Susan Wade, who's probably sleeping. And Greg Sedlock. So thank you for helping, participating, and sharing your beautiful energy. And Diana Stanfield was a significant point to this as well because she was here. She wasn't on my roster, but she showed up. And she showed up with a smile and a beautiful set of hands to help us. And I especially want to take a moment to thank Charles Davis, who, who is like a right hand to me when it comes to events. My colleagues, Jennifer Chavez, I could have not done this without her. All of the beautiful decorations, as far as like the backgrounds, the Imagine background, the graphics, the programs, she was a part of that process. And the staff was just incredible in helping me. And Melissa, who I spent last night in the bookstore with sorting through bathroom donations. All right. Yeah. Andy. Yes. Okay, Andy. I didn't see you, Andy, but Andy's often here, and I don't cross paths with him usually. So if he's usually tucked behind Brian. So thank you, Brian, for that. So we have just 2 awards that didn't get announced last night. The coolest, funkiest threads went to Greg Sedlock. And the most jive-friendly news went to Cecilia Chavaria. So I have certificates for you both, a little gift certificate. I'll see you after service and bring them to you. All right, on with announcements, which is really, part of what I'm supposed to be doing. Long-term UCOH member AJ Elliott has said farewell. AJ loved and served UCOH faithfully in so many ways. There's a sympathy card in the foyer. If you'd like to add a loving message to AJ's family, and we invite you to join us for a celebration of life on December 1st, and we'll have more information unfolding as the path moves forward. So nominations for the 2 open positions on the 2024-2025 Board of Trustees are being accepted now through October 20th. In the foyer, you will find a poster on the welcome wall with QR codes and a table with paper nomination forms. You can also find the link on the UCOH website. Our fall 2024 Path Discovery class will be Sundays, October 13th, 20th, and 27th. Join us to learn more about unity or the 5 principles in becoming a member of UCOH. Check the UCOH website for more information, and to register childcare is available. Now is the time to ensure that everything we do reflects the new identity work we have created and embraced. In her interactive workshop, Mission-Centric Ministry, Rev. Cynthia will lead us to learn what it means to be mission-centric, why this is important, and what we can do to live it. This webinar is presented in person and on Zoom, October 6th and 8th. Register online. And each Sunday, prayer chaplains hold sacred space during the service and are available to pray with you in the chapel immediately following the service. As you exit the sanctuary, go through the office area Turn right at the Jesus, and the chapel is straight ahead. If you are online, you can call Silent Unity at any time to speak with a prayer chaplain. The number is on your screen. I did want to mention, I am realizing, Farida Khan. She created all the food for us last night. Wanted to mention that. And Sameh, who went to go pick up extra food. So thank you for that. All right. So now's the time where we say goodbye to our online participants. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. And please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, all the things, click all the buttons, and have a wonderful afternoon.